Hi 104. This video is about English folk song. English folk song is the example that you are going to find on exam 3 in both the written exam if you're taking it working without a keyboard or if you are submitting a plain exam. So I want to work through it carefully with you. So English folk song is found on page 147. It is in a lead sheet style. This is what we've been getting ready for with these chords. So with the chords, the first thing you need to do is you have to figure out the key of the piece, and you have to find what notes are going to be in your 1, your 4, and your 5/7 chord. So when I'm looking at English folk song, and I've written it on the board here for you, it has a key signature of 2 sharps. So remember, 2 sharps means that I'm looking at that last sharp here. That is a C sharp. C sharp going up half a step is telling me that I'm in the key of D. So that's the first thing I would do with my piece, is label it that I'm in the key of D. And this is major. I'm not giving you anything in minor here with lead sheets, just major. So now we need to know where to put these chords. So where I see the letter D, D is the root of my 1 chord. So whether you prefer reading the letter name or whether you prefer reading the Roman numeral, you can go through and add the Roman numeral to it. But wherever you see D, so for instance in measure 1, 3, 5, 7, and 8, you're going to be playing that 1 chord. That bottom, middle, top. Where you see G/D, all you have to worry about is that top letter. This /D is telling you it's in an inversion. That's how we've learned to play it. G is the 4th note in a D position. That's how I know it's a 4 chord. So this is that new chord that we just were talking about in the previous video. So going from my 1 chord, my bottom stayed the same. My 2nd finger is playing that middle note, and my thumb went up a whole step. So in the measures where you see that G/D chord, that would be in measure 2 and in measure 6, you're going to play a 4 chord or a G chord, depending on if you like to call it by its root letter name or whether you like to call it by Roman numeral. The last chord we need is that 5/7 chord that we learned 2 weeks ago. Again, you're looking at the first letter name, which is an A. D, E, F sharp, G, A. That's the 5th note of that hand position. That's how I know they're asking for a 5/7 chord. This /C sharp is just telling me to put it in an inversion. Again, that's how we learned it. So remember, your 5/7 chord going off of your 1 was the same note on the top. Finger 2 again is the same finger in the middle of a 4 or a 5 chord. And then remember that that bottom went down a half a step. So where you see A7, which is at the end of the first line, and the next to last measure at the second line, you're going to play your 5/7 chord. Now the top part of page 147, if you look here, gives you some fancy ways that you can do your chords. If we were all together in class and we've had plenty of time to work on this, that would have been really fun to experiment with. But since we're in a situation here where we're all just doing the best we can on our own, we're just going to simply do it in a blocked chord, just like what we've been doing. So, to practice my left hand for English folk song, I'm going to find a D position. It can be anywhere you want. Tonic, whole, whole, half, whole. Now I'm going to practice finding my chords first. So my 1 chord is bottom, middle, top. To go to my 4 chord, go from the bottom, stay, play, up a whole step. Okay, I'm going to go back to my 1 chord, and I'm going to find my 5/7. Now I'm going from the top, stay, play, down a half step. There's my 5/7. So now I'm going to look at my music, and here's where I'm reading. This is called tablature. I'm reading this up here. Again, if that confuses me, you could write in the middle of the measure 1, 4, 1, 5/7 if the numbers make more sense to you. So I'm going to play a 1 chord. Next measure, I'm playing a 4. 1, 5/7. 1, 4, 5, 7, 1. So there's my left hand. And again, I'm playing them just blocked. Don't worry about doing what they're calling a broken chord. Once you have your left hand, now it's time to look at that melody. I want to show you one thing. We're in the key of D, which means normally, look what finger's on my F sharp, a finger 3. They're saying you might be more comfortable starting it with a finger 2. You certainly can do that. So then my hand position looks like this. The reason they're doing that is because I've got this B here, and I need to be able to reach that. So if you follow their fingering, make sure that you've got a 2 on the F sharp, and then the rest of your fingers on the white. If you don't care to do that, if you like to keep your hand in in D position, then take your pencil and change that 2 to a 3. And then just know when you get here, you're going to have a finger 4, and you're going to have to skip up to get that B, and then you can go down. Here's what your melody is going to sound like. So once I have that melody learned, I'm going to put my chords with it. 1, 4, 1, 5, 7, 1, 4, 1, 5, 7, 1. So that's how you put English folk song together. I'm happy to practice with you. I would love to FaceTime or Zoom. So if you're having a hard time getting this to work, or you're just not sure you're on the right track with it, please reach out, send me an email. Let's find a time to get together. So if you are doing a plain exam 3, you are going to record yourself playing English folk song. The second piece that you need to record is your choice of anything with 16th notes. So go back to the 16th notes that we looked at pages 139 to 142 and pick out your favorite from there. Remember, some of those are major, some are minor, so check your keys carefully. So if you're doing a plain exam 2, it's English folk song, and your choice of a note or of a piece was 16th notes, 139 to 142. That's the first video of the set of 3 for the week of May 11th. If you are doing a written exam 3, it is on Canvas, or I should say it will be on Canvas by Monday morning. You can print it out, fill it out, send me back a scan, just like you did with exam 2. But one of the items on there will be English folk song, a copy of it just like what you see in your book on page 147, and you'll be writing those chords in for me that you would be playing. All right, so good luck preparing for exam 3. Please let me know if I can be of help in any way. Bye.